Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So here I am, sister, walking back from dropping off my big boy Tyson when I often record these podcasts. And I'm like, what do I talk about with you today? I'm just coming off of, and this is being published today, so I'm just coming off the last 2.5 days of Women Wanting More Live Event 2.0. Made an intimate group with two credible women. Incredible women, Nashira and Julie. And Coach Adrian, who was there to support me. So appreciative. And, coming off the intensity of this, of early morning to late nights, to really being present with these women. Really present. When I plan and prepare for this, as I did my first one back in October, I had, a plan of what I was teaching, of what we were going to do, when we were eating, when we were done. But yet, I was open. See, the 3 agreements that we made in October and the 3 agreements I made with this woman today, that was the same in the agreements for this. Number 1 was to be all in. It's to be all in. And what that means is to be present, for them to be present, to not hold back, right? To be all in with energy, like to be there in the room. As I explained to these women in the 6 back in October, it's like, it would suck that you invested this money for your tuition. You're away from family for 3-4 days, because with some travel time on either end. You've left work or your business to be here. And then you're just like, I'll just go, 50%. I'm good. It'll look like I'm really contributing, but I don't really know. So no, the agreement was like all in, which these women did. The second agreement was to tell the truth. The majority of the world is not telling the truth. Is posturing and pretending and faking and lying about who they are, about what they do, about what's really going on in their life, and are showing their Sunday best. Not in this room. Tell the truth. Be honest. Tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth. And the third agreement was to be a student, a learner, and to be a teacher and a contributor, to be open, So what does that mean? Well, it means as a student learner that you are open to new ways of being. You're open to new possibilities. You're open to seeing the world differently than the way that you see it now. Because here's the thing, every single one of these women from this event, the October Live event, the one that I coach with one-on-one, group masterminds, they all have something that they need. They all have something that they're looking for. And the majority of the women that reach out to me, and we coach either one-on-one or in group masterminds, or again, they're like, when's on the live event? I'm like, I really want to be there, and they apply for any of these, is the majority of these women have reached a point, sister, where like they are stuck. They feel lost. They feel like they know what they want, but they're like, it's either like it's not totally clear, or I don't know how to get it. Like, I want these things, but how do I make this happen? They look at the costs that it's been for not taking action. Right? They're like, God, I've wasted all this time and money, and if I don't take action and where my marriage is, like that might mean divorce, and that's $100,000, that's $250,000, that's what would happen to my children. Like, they've really done some work to go like, this is not okay. I want things to change. And if you want things to change, nothing changes unless something changes. And often that biggest change, and the one that might be most resistant, is the way that we see the world. We have a certain set of eyes, glasses, lenses that we see the world with. Our worldview, the way that we see things. And that's awesome, we can see things differently. But if we are stuck in one way of seeing, and we are looking for something different, and what's currently happening with the way we see the world is not working, then we have to be open to a new way of seeing the world. Be open, student, learner, right? Open. The other part is be open, teacher, contributor. And what that means is to share the insights that come up. See, when I teach, and so when I coach, whether that's this live event, the last one, whether I'm in group masterminds, whether it's one-on-one, I don't sit there and go, okay, here's what you need to do. Steps 1, 2, 3. Let me just teach something. Just be a talking head on a screen, on a Zoom call with my group masterminds virtually. And then you'll just take notes. That's not the way I roll. This is about interacting. This is about engaging. So every single step along the way with my clients, I will ask them questions like, what are you getting with this? What are you hearing? What insight? One woman might share if it's in a group, a live event, or a group virtual mastermind, and here's the other pieces, I really listen to the voice. And there'll be times I just go, I'll just turn and look at somebody. I'm like, let's say we'll call her Michelle. Michelle, what do you hear Jane saying right now? What insight are you hearing for you with what she is sharing, what she is saying? Teacher, contributor. See, our experiences, we think like, no, I don't want to make a big deal of it. I don't want to be, like my group mastermind that I was in a year ago, I found it was like the one that was like raising my hand a lot, right? Meaning that I was contributing. I was like, I shouldn't really be, this can't be like the Karen show. Like, this is not cool. I want to give space for the other woman to be able to share. I can't hog it. I can't hog the spotlight and the time and our coach's time. But what my incredible coach helped me to see, which any great coach will help you see, what you can't see. That's what a good coach will do. That's what I do. I will say that with certainty, with absolutely no ego, but with this is who I am. I'm an incredible fucking coach. I help women see what they cannot see. Just like my coach did. And what he helped me see in that moment, when I shared that, I don't want to be all about me, that it's like, be the material. Be the material. What the fuck does that mean? Be the material. It means that you sharing that experience, there's something for the other one in the group to see. And that can be in the form of insight they give you back. But I'll tell you what's more real, what I found to be most true, is that it comes in the form of they see something in themselves. Something is true for them in what that woman is sharing. In other words, they relate to what they're saying and it triggers something for them. It makes them think of something in their life. It's relevant for them. And it's not necessarily because they had the same experience or that they can relate, but there's something for them to hear in that. So be the teacher, be the contributor. I read the Marianne Williamson quote that you might have heard before. I'll put in the show notes, which is kind of becomes like, who am I? I'm going to like paraphrase and I'll put in there because it's the most beautiful quote, one of my favorites. And essentially comes down to who am I for stepping into the light? Who am I to shine? Who am I to show up in my greatness? Which, by the way, is your birthright. Who am I to do that? I'm not pretty enough. I'm not brilliant enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. And what she says in that is really who are you not to be? That's what we're going to call this podcast episode today. Who are you not to be? What makes you think that your life matters less than somebody else's? What makes you think that you have the motherfucking right to hold back who you are, which robs us of your gifts and of your talents and of your art? One of the dinners that we had incredible restaurants that we went to throughout the live event, and one which is called Aura. And I've been there for probably about 3 date nights with my husband, Ed. And we love going there because food and service and presentation is done like an art form. And they bring it out and the plate is gorgeous and the way they describe the food and they go, it's this and this is this and it's got this sauce on it, and like that's their art. The chefs, the people that serve, right? Everyone from the hostess on in, the ambiance, everything. It is not up to you to hold back that, because we need that. Who are you to not step forward and fully be who you are? Because you think you have more time. You think you're not ready. You think you need more money to make something happen. You think you need the resources. No, let's be honest, you're fucking afraid. You're afraid. Like, I know, I've been there. God. And, oh my God, because the fear, what if I fail? What will people think? What if I fall on my ass and they'll go, see, I knew you couldn't do it. So what if? Let's go there for just a moment. What if you failed? Guess what you just got the gift of? You got the gift of finding a way that didn't work. So you try another way. What was it, the story I've seen of how many attempts that Edison had at the light bulb? Like 1,000? How many doors that Colonel Sanders knocked on businesses trying to get them to sell his chicken recipe, which, by the way, didn't happen, I think, till he was like 65 or something. Do you know how many studios that Sylvester Stallone brought the screenplay of Rocky, which he wrote over like 2-3 days, and rejected him? And when he said, but the thing is, like, I'm playing Rocky. Like, you? Dude, you got this speech impediment. You're not a Hollywood-looking guy. I'm like, no, you're not even an actor. That's not happening. And he said, okay. And he kept going. And he went to the next and the next and the next. Until he said, look it. And this would have been, Rocky came out, oh my God, the movie Rocky, 78, I want to say, 77. Which, by the way, if you don't know, won a ton of fucking Oscars at the time. But he said, fine. And they went, okay, we're going to pay you. And at the time for that was, peanuts, I don't know, $100,000. And he said, okay, but I want points. I want back end. What that means is a percentage of the gross sales, which is commonplace now, that actors will have this as part of their contract. Big actors. It's where they make most of the money, if that movie really succeeds. So he said, fine, I'll take less money and I'll just, get a percentage of the gross sales. And they laughed at him. They said, fine. It kind of worked out well for Sylvester Stallone. Kind of worked out well. 6, 7 Rocky movies, huge career, speech impediment. What would have happened if someone like Sylvester Stallone never really, he held back, right? What would happen if Edison said, like, this isn't working? Like, what would happen? And then what makes you think that your life is any less important than celebrities and inventors and fried chicken makers, It's just as important, sister. Who are you not to be? Who are you not to fucking shine? Because you think that by doing this takes it away from others, and really what it does, and what Marianne Williamson says in this quote, is it actually gives others permission to do the same. This is why I speak this message to you, sister. I'm willing to step. I'm willing to do the difficult things. I'm willing to get attacked by people, which I do sometimes. Oh my God, you're so rude, you swear. Oh my God, I would never have seen you. You were a doctor? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Cool. Because I know that the way that I be and the way that I live my life inspires other women to do the same. It gives them and you the permission to do the same and to really see what is possible. So here's your more tip for today, sister. Why don't you open up your journal? And I want you to write all the ways that you were holding back in your life, that you were playing at 50%, as one of the amazing women shared in the recent live event, that you were being lesser than because you are afraid. Just stop the lying of, well, I'm not ready, and the time, the reason, money, all this stuff. It's like, no, let's just be honest. You're fucking afraid. Tell the truth, right? So where are all the ways in your life that you were holding back? Write that all down. And then here's your second part of this. The action step is just one action step you can take today to actually begin to move forward, to not hold back, right? To do the thing that you want to do, no matter what, even if it scares you. Even if it scares you. So look at my next live event is going to be very special. A one-day event. It'll be sometime in May, maybe early June. The date will be announced soon once I get a venue secured. And this is going to be around the time that the podcast will be hitting 1 million downloads. Like fucking crazy. 1 million downloads. Million listens. Like holy crap. Right now the podcast is listened to about 2,300 downloads a day in 170 countries around the world. Like incredible. I'm so thankful. Thank you for listening, sister. Thank you for receiving this message. I know there's times it's triggered and pissed you off. I get it. Me too. On things that I often needed to see, but they were uncomfortable. So to make sure that you get advance notice for this, because there will be a limited number of seats. It will be a limited number. Okay, I know there's many of you that can't make it out to my live event. Like that would never happen for you, but you can make it out for a day. And I'm going to make sure the tickets are within that range, that this will be available to so many of you, and you get to meet up and have the association of a powerful group of other women like you, sister. So here's what you need to do. I want you to go over to drkarenosborn.com. You're going to see a pop-up window that comes up to enter your name and email, and make sure to get on the Woman Wanting More newsletter. Okay, so you can get that advance notice. You can get all the podcast show notes 3 times a week. So you can get advance notice of my book that's coming out soon. And really be part of this sisterhood. So it's over at drkarenosborn.com. You'll see the pop-up come, enter your name and email, and I'll get you hooked up on that today. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more. It's just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.